안녕하세요, 저는 Noki입니다. Welcome to today's video, Luckies, where we are going to be doing a very different kind of video, one that we have not ever tried over here on the channel before, and that is essentially a photographer reacts series, which I'm going to be doing with you guys for LOONA's upcoming comeback and the concept teaser photos. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I am more than just a YouTuber. I'm actually a photographer outside of YouTube, and since I've been a full-time YouTuber, I don't really have too much time to get out and do it now, but my specialty is street photography, and minimalism within street photography is, I think, my primary interest right now. I really freaking vibe that. There are multiple reasons why I wanted to start this, but for quite some time, I've just been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to mesh two of my favorite passions, K-pop and photography, together, and of course to be able to share that with you. Now basically, I'm not entirely sure what form these videos will always take, but basically I wanted to do this because, you know, when groups have comebacks and stuff like that, a lot of attention is paid to the music, of course, naturally, the videography, so MVs and all of that type of stuff that gets released, but I think very rarely is there much light shed on and much appreciation shown to photographers, of course, who do market the artists and do take all of these absolutely incredible photos for these artists, and of course the stylists, the makeup artists, and all of those other people who make, you know, all of these outfits, these absolutely amazing looks come to life. So I guess that's what we're really going to be trying to do, but also I'm hoping to share some of my photography knowledge with you guys and point out some things that maybe you might not have noticed, and at least just talk about some things that are a little bit different to what we usually hear over here with reactions on YouTube, and hopefully give you a little bit of a different insight into how a photographer would go about looking at not only MVs and stuff like that, but also concept teaser photos and whatnot. Now, basically, we have got lots of things to get through for LOONA, but today we're just going to be starting with LOONA 1/3 and the 3 different sets of photo teasers that we received early on in the piece. I know that now we've got new teaser photos dropping because BBC literally just released everything like it's just machine gun speed right now. It's ridiculous. It's actually crazy, but no one's complaining. So we'll be starting with those first sets of 3 photos. We've got like a panel that I'll show you of all 3 photos combined for each member, and then I'll go through and I'll talk about what I individually like about each set, and of course each member's photos as well. Next, we will be doing Odd Eye Circle plus Yeojin, and then very last we will be doing YY by Y as well as the group photos. So I hope that you guys are super freaking excited for that. I also just want to let you know, of course, if you become interested in this series at the end of the video or whatever, make sure to subscribe, and of course make sure to definitely go and check out the rest of my reactions to LOONA if you guys would like to. It's very different, very different from what I'm doing over here, but yeah, go and give it a look nonetheless. I'd really freaking appreciate that. Now, I do know that there's some new teasers out, but we're basically just going to be focusing on the first lot. So we've got 3 different types of scenes, and I'll pull the panel up now for you guys. So we'll start with Hyejin. We'll go in the order that, of course, the LOONA members were announced. So, of course, excluding Yeojin here anyway, though, just because we're going by subunits. But as you can see in this panel, we've got the 3 different shots of Hyejin. We've got one that's red, which is, of course, her color. Then we've got another one, which is obviously a lot more, let's say, brown, natural colors as well. And then we've got this other one, which is like a little bit cooler, a little bit of like more of a blue type tone. And I know that that's consistent for every single member who has these types of teaser photos. So there's 3 teaser photos essentially that we've got. But look, let's just jump straight into Hyejin. I'm really pumped. Let's go. Now, with Hyejin, with this photo of Hyejin, I absolutely fucking love it. I think it's amazing. It's gorgeous, honestly. Like, just this, I guess you could say red velvet, like this red velvet looking couch that she is on, plus like this fabric in the background. I don't want to call it a curtain because I'm not entirely sure what exactly it is. Just looks absolutely beautiful. I love how those shades almost match each other as well, but not quite, so that the chair still does actually stick out compared to the background. But her lips and the color of her lips are actually quite close to the shade of, I would say, I guess you could call that like cherry red in the background as well. So I absolutely love that. Her eyebrows almost look like, how can I put it? They almost look like tinted. like violet tinted. Her contacts look absolutely incredible, and those pink nails also work with this aesthetic too. I honestly love blonde hair on Hyejin. I think she looks absolutely amazing with it, especially with these curls too. The outfit, we can't really see too much of it here, but I think the reason is like we're not really supposed to. The outfit's not actually the most important part of this picture. She's obviously like giving us a hell of a lot of sass by like, you know, almost, is she biting her nail? She's almost biting her nail, like almost biting her nail. Just kind of like really showing us that girl crush, bad girl type vibe, but at the same time, it's very, it's still very subdued. So I really like this photo. If we move on to the second one, and it's pretty much just like your normal headshot. It's a close-up. We've got an absolutely incredible focus on her eyes, and just looking at the detail and the quality, like I'm zooming in right now as well. It's just amazing. Like the makeup around her eyes is so like, I guess you could say evenly spread. There's like a little bit of like this like smoky type effect under it as well, but even just appreciating like her eyeliner and how well that was done, I think is absolutely amazing. I love as well how all of the colors in this photo are matching each other so well too. We've got different shades of brown. She's got like this very like creamy smooth skin. The pop, of course, being her lips and her eyes, which is what you want, especially when you're taking a portrait of someone. But the gold around her neck really matches the color of her brown hair as well, and I think that it just looks absolutely amazing. There's not really too much to say about this, just because it's like a pretty standard type of headshot, but I really do like it. I like the angle on it as well. I know sometimes headshots, especially portraits, even if you're just like kind of getting a little bit more of the profile, because we can see a little bit more of her profile here, then of course straight on, like sometimes they don't look at the camera. Sometimes that can be frustrating for me personally as a photographer looking at portraits, or it can be endearing depending on how they look, like what they're looking at, what the scene is around them. But in this type of shot, of course, it's just going to be staring dead into the camera's eyes, staring dead into the photographer's lens. Now, the last shot of Hyejin, I love. I think this is beautiful. I love this color grading as well. And while I was downloading these photos, this was something that I actually noticed. Like, it's just like this really cool, subdued, kind of like, it's like greens and blues. I would say more greens as well, actually, though, because you can especially see here on her dress, it's got like a tinge to it. So especially like where they've gone and, you know, probably manipulated the curves to go and edit this. I just love how they've gone and edited it. The quality is absolutely incredible. Like zooming in on this photo, and I do encourage you to download them and zoom in if you can. It's so sharp. It's so goddamn sharp. She has got some of like the most beautiful eyes, honestly, like out of any idol in K-pop, just in general. And I think that like here, just looking at the composition of the photo, how we've got like a lot of open space around her, but it's not too open. We've got at least something in the background. We've got a little bit of an idea of what the scene is. We've got some sand and some rocks, so she might be outside, or that's where we're trying to at least imagine that they are. They could be on the moon, they could be outer space, who knows. The thing is like, she's kind of up here in like this top upper third. So like this top upper third to the right. And it's like the moment you look at this photo, your eyes are drawn straight to her face. Straight to her face, straight to her neck as well, because of that I want to call this like, is it a collar? Is it a choker? I'm not entirely sure. It looks fancy as hell though. As far as her outfit is concerned, I don't personally know exactly how I feel about the strap kind of going across her here. I feel like they could have gotten rid of the strap and just had that belt around her waist, and it would have looked absolutely amazing. But also this like these sleeves, kind of sleeves, yeah, like this off the shoulder type look with this dress looks absolutely amazing as well. The color grading though is one thing I love about it, because of course it's greens, but then we've got her beautiful blonde brown hair. I guess you could call it almost strawberry blonde looking here. just absolutely shining through. Her lips are popping once again, but her eyes are just absolutely gorgeous and she looks amazing. So that's Hijin. I love her teaser photos. I have seen her newest one. I wanted to stay away from it, but everyone in the Discord was talking about it. Dude, ooh, that was something else. Her newest one was crazy, but we'll get to talking about that one. But let's move on to Hyunjin. Now, with Hyunjin, once again, we've got the panel up. You guys can, of course, see that. But here on her first photo, it's all mustard. I love it. Like, it's very colorful, very bright, but at the same time as well, it's like kind of subdued in a way. Like, the mustard is not like super in your face. It's not like, bam, here I am, like I'm super bright, oversaturated or anything like that. It's quite nice. Like, it's digestible. You can look at it. I think that mustard is not necessarily my type of color. Personally, I would never wear it. Personally, I would never really shoot with it or try and get it in a photo that I would take or anything like that, but this works perfectly. I think as well, once again, zooming in, I can see that on Hyunjin's eyeliner, like on her wing, she's got, I think it's like either a mustard or a gold wing on her eyeliner as well, which matches the background and it looks fucking incredible. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. She's got these massive earrings for her earring CF. Someone give her an earring commercial, please. She wants it. And it looks absolutely amazing. The pose is very simple too. Like, she's just kind of leaning. The hand doesn't look out of place, so I like it. I'm not entirely sure if she's actually resting on it. She's not resting on it, so that's fine. I don't really understand the candle wick at the back here. I don't really know why that's there. It just kind of looks a little bit out of place, like it's not meant to be there. Like, if you remove that, the photo, I feel, at least on this side as well, would still look perfectly fine. I just don't see why it's there. But one thing that I really like about this photo though is the way that her dress just like is like semi-transparent. I think that that's amazing anyway, because her outfit underneath looks awesome. I'm not sure if it's like two separate pieces or one, but if you just look at like how her dress is spread, it almost looks like a wave, like a ripple. Like, it's so elegant, and the way that she's sitting and posing is so elegant too. So this photo really screams elegance, but colorfully in your face at the same time as far as the mustard is concerned, because it's quite overwhelming. But the colors contrast quite well. She's got a beautiful skin tone too, and I absolutely love it. The highlights aren't overblown or anything like that. It's not, crazily composed either. I do happen to like as well, one thing that BBC tend to do quite a lot is they almost take these photos kind of on an angle. It's like slightly tilted all the time as well, which I personally really vibe. Like, I personally really freaking vibe it. I love it. It adds just a little bit of extra, like a bit of extra character to the image. I feel like if you've just got a straight on headshot or something all the time, sometimes they can be a little bit boring. Or if you've just got a straight on normal composed shot, there's not really much going on, and the model has to do extra to really kind of make up for that. But I really like this. It's very elegant. But moving on to the second one, I think these are my favorite outfits so far already. She's shining, man. She looks absolutely amazing. She's obviously not got a how could I put it? She's not got a super overly interesting expression, but she 100% definitely does not need one, just like Hitin as well. Like, she's just so photogenic that she could literally just stand there, eyes open, mouths closed, and she could just look absolutely incredible, and she does. This outfit too, personally, I love like the bedazzlement on the bust, and also zooming in a little bit, I love these edits as well, where you've got these individual areas on these like golden gems, like shining, like sparkling, like with that cross, and it's really got like this it's almost like got this glowing effect around the very bottom. I'm not too sure if you guys can see, but on like the waist area, just under where these little gold fragments kind of droop down, it's lighter. Like, you can actually see that the fabric is lighter, so it's almost got like this glowing effect. So they've really given this white around her bust area, around the chest. They've really like edited it there to obviously make sure that there's these effects where things are glowing. I'm not entirely sure if they've edited it or if it's in camera. I think it would be pretty hard to do that in camera, but it looks absolutely amazing. The highlights on this area specifically too just look incredible. So I love it. I love the outfits. She's holding onto a wall or a door, it seems to be, and then once again we've got that tilted shot, which I absolutely love. Going on to the very last one, this is interesting. Like, you know, her facial expressions don't really seem to change here too much, which I quite like. I think that as far as the consistency is concerned, I vibe that she seems to have the same type of personality across the three of her images. I do really love this like wet look that she's got going on here with like her strands of hair. I guess you can, yeah, like kind of like her fringe. Like she's got parts of her fringe that are pulled over her face, which I do really like. There's a little bit of mystery here, obviously, in the fact that, you know, the background is just purely like jet black. Like there's literally nothing to it here. But on top of that, you know, she's got such dark hair, but she's got these little clips, it seems to be, in her hair as well. So you can, one, not only differentiate their position between the hair and the background, but it also like just gives it an extra bit of character, which I really like, because, I mean, like, you know, extra bits of character, things here and there really do make a difference in these photos anyway too. Once again, I'm gonna say I'm not too sure how I feel about the chain. I'm not sure if I'm fond of it. Maybe they could have, I don't know what they could have done here. And it's no shade to the stylist. I just don't really know about it. I'm not entirely sure about the outfit as a whole. I do like that, what do you call that, fabric? Oh, dear Jesus Christ. I do like that. Oh, fuck, what are they called? It's like you use it for stockings. Fishnet. It's like almost this like fishnet type glove. I like that. I think that looks pretty interesting. But then once again as well, the background pretty nicely composed, at least. Like you can't really see too much of what's there, so it doesn't really give away a whole lot, but it's giving this vibe that perhaps it's a canyon, it could be like a space crater or something like that. We could be on the moon. It's LOONA. Who freaking knows? We could be. So I really like that. At least I do also like the negative space around her up here. It obviously leaves a lot for her to really stand out, at least say compared to Heejin, but Heejin stood out quite a lot just because of her hair. Her dress was lighter than the background as well, but seeing how Hyunjin is, you know, predominantly black here, like we've got the black outfit, we've got the black fishnet glove, black hair, and then of course the black background. I feel like obviously leaving this little bit of negative space over here, and the way that they've composed it suits her very nicely here. So I love this as well. I definitely have to say that so far I think that I really like Heejin's photos a little bit more, especially the first one. Heejin's first photo is very difficult to beat. I think it's incredible, but we are going to move on to the absolutely amazing Cho Hasu. Now Hasu is something else, man. She honestly is, how can I put it? Like, I don't know, man. I haven't really had that much time to get to know Hasu, but from what I know of her and what I know about her, she is incredibly beautiful. She's incredibly photogenic, and we can see that here. I am not entirely fond of the angle, and it's like, maybe it's the angle just because we're looking down. If she was looking up, I feel like we would obviously be able to see a lot more of her neck, but this dress looks quite asphyxiating, even though of course it wouldn't be. It just, you really don't get to see that much of her neck, which I feel like, you know, obviously when you have that available, you can see her lines a lot better. You would be able to see her jawline a lot better, even her collarbone too. So I'm not entirely sure of the angle and whether or not I'm too fond of that one, but nonetheless, the expressions that she's serving us are absolutely amazing. I love how her eyes are so beautiful. Like, her eyes are absolutely gorgeous. They perfectly match her hair color. And of course, she's got like, how can I say it? Like, I love Hasu's nose. I don't know if this is a weird thing to say, but I love Hasu's nose. She's got such a pretty nose, and like, a small mouth, and I don't know, man, like she's got some really awesome facial features, and I think that she's really pretty, so I really love that. As far as the actual dress is concerned though, I actually quite like it. I think that maybe so far out of the first 3 photos that we've seen, so Heejin, Hyunjin's and Hasu, this is actually probably my favorite dress. I just think that the angle we could of course overcome if it was shot on a normal level, or if she was actually, like if the camera was above her and she was required to look up a little bit, it perhaps would have been able to show her neck a little bit more. But apart from that, that's literally my only, it's probably my only thing. Also, I like how her nails, the color of her nails match the color of her dress, and also like this, I guess you could call that a belt, like that piece of fabric that's around her waist. It's very interesting, kind of intriguing. And then of course we've got that floral type golden design as well. Looks really nice too. Now this I love, and this is what I mean by like I want to be able to see her neck, because of course here we've got a beautiful shadow, beautiful very soft shadow under her jaw, which of course defines her facial lines a hell of a lot better. But then on top of that, like this looks dreamy as hell. She is like, she's got this like almost like silk, I'll just say piece of fabric. She's got this piece of fabric on her right shoulder, which of course is like a beige type of cream color. We've got the white blinds in the background, it seems. Instead, we're not holding onto a door, we're not you know, super close like we were with Heejin, but we're a little further back and we can see a little bit more of her. I love the outfit too. Like, you know, from what little we can see of it, it's just all black from what we can see. It's gold, all black, all gold. There's no whites like there was in Hyunjin's outfit, but considering the gold, if we just look at her eyebrows for a second, I love how they pop there, and it's just because of like these little golden flakes. I think it's like super, how to put it, super minimal. It's very minimal. You don't need to overdo it, and I'm glad that they actually didn't do it on her other eyebrow as well. She might have looked a little weird, but I like how they put it up here. I'm not entirely sure whether I would have maybe put like traces of flakes on her cheek. Like perhaps putting some traces of flake here would have been interesting to see how that would have turned out. But then again, at the same time, I still am quite a fan of the minimalism. I actually really like where they went with this one too. So I love it. Also, I love how we've still got like a kind of like a shadow, or at least definition of the bridge of her nose here as well, because at least across here, her skin tone does seem to lose it a little bit as well, but I like how we've still got that definition there. Going on to the very last photo, this is actually, I would say, probably my favorite outfit so far that we've seen on her for that we've seen on the last photos as well. One being that it's just kind of simple. It's not, we've got no chains, we've got no crazy things that are like, you know, like overlaying on a dress or something like that. This strap actually looks like it's part of the dress. This one definitely is here too, a part of the outfit, so I quite like it. The composition, once again, it's actually pretty simple here, but she stands out against the background quite well. She's got lighter hair than the background, so she doesn't seem to blend with it as much as Hyunjin, but as a result as well, she doesn't actually really need anything in her hair too. It's very well differentiated. On top of that, her eyes are just beautiful. She's got cat eyes. Like, she looks amazing. I love it. I think that she is like, honestly, you know, I will say this about literally every member of LOONA, and I will mean it honestly literally every single time. They are so photogenic, so incredibly photogenic, and we'll see this especially when we get to Odd Eye Circle, especially because that was when I was downloading, I was like, oh my fucking god, I was like, Jesus Christ, these photos are nuts. But yeah, I love this shot of her. It's, once again, like quite well composed. It's very, very simple, but I just feel like all of the colors work very well, and it's very much like more of a, I wouldn't say there's greens here, but it's like browns are the emphasis here. The very light, soft browns, and I like that, right? Like we've got a little bit more green in Heejin's image. Like we've got those lighter browns, a little bit more green there, but here it's very much just browns, and I like that. Like in street photography, some people actually choose this type of tone to edit with, like this type of color grade, and it can actually make for some very interesting photos. But for portraits, I like it. It's very soft and the quality is absolutely amazing. I would actually really love to know which camera these were all shot with as well, because of course there are so many absolutely amazing ones out there, but I'd love to know which camera and which lens, because I'm a photography nerd like that. But anyway, last but not least, as part of LOONA 1/3, we have got Vivi. Now today with Vivi, it's Vivi from LOONA. What else do I have to say? Honestly, what else do I have to say? Vivi is absolutely incredible. She is nuts, honestly. Like, looking at this outfit, personally, if I'm being really honest, I don't really care for it. I think that there's a bit much going on in terms of like the seams and everything, like on her legs, and then of course on her shoulder. But then again, actually, the more that I'm looking at it and the closer I'm looking at it, it's actually not that bad. I just wonder like what this area around her midriff is though. Like, is it a belt? What is it? What's going on there? Not entirely sure. Gold here I think would have worked very nicely, like if she had like a gold piece on her side or something, or at like as a belt, similar to kind of what similar to what Hasu had in her first photo. I think that would look very nice. Once again though, zooming in, when you look at Vivi, she has just got absolutely striking facial features. Like, you know, her lips, super full, absolutely incredible. Her eyes and her eyelashes just are insane. And then I love her hair. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what color it is, whether we're pink, whether it's black, whether it's blonde, it doesn't matter. She looks absolutely amazing. I love Vivi, man. And also, I have to say, the set, quite nice. It's very minimal. Of course, once again, we're just working with members' colors, so it's a nice tone of pink, especially like on the, let's call them drapes now because they look like drapes, but it's a nice tone of pink that we've got there, and it looks like we've got the same color on the actual tablecloth that she's grabbing too. We've got the flamingo being a little bit darker, introducing some oranges in, and then the flowers actually matching that too. The little bit of green actually stands out quite well too, so I quite like that as well. Now, if we go on to the second photo, wow. Wow, this is something. Looking at her hair here, it's not black, it's blue. Does she have blue hair? Like, am I tripping? Does she have blue hair this comeback? Is that what like, is it navy? What's going on? Because this area where she's got the light hitting her directly across the chest, it looks amazing. Her hair color looks nuts. Also, once again, we've got those very big sparkles. They look absolutely beautiful, especially like on this almost crest area right here on her chest. I absolutely love it. It's almost like as well, she's got these very regal looking kind of like bedazzled epaulets on the sleeves too. And I do like how you know, she's got sleeves here on this shirt too, and it's not like, you know, pretty much everything that we've seen so far. Hasu didn't have sleeves. Hyunjin also didn't have sleeves. And Hijin, I'm pretty sure we could see a little bit of her shoulder as well. But Vivi, once again, breaking the trend, so she looks amazing. Once again as well though, I just love her eyes and I love how they pop. Like, honestly, I think that she's got such gorgeous eyes. And actually, now that I'm zooming in a little bit, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. If you do happen to have these photos downloaded, if any of you have, then do definitely take a look. But on her left eye, as we would be looking, but her right eye as she's facing us, there's like a little bit of that like twinkle sparkle on the white right next to her pupil in her eye as well. I really like that. It's very dreamy, very beautiful, very nice. Once again, we're holding onto a wall, it seems here. I'm not entirely sure if that means anything, but yeah, I love this outfit. It looks absolutely incredible. And then when we go down, this is the photo that ends it all, honestly. This is the photo. Like, oh man, this is the photo. Like, wow. This, along with Hasu, would be my favorite. like, she looks so bad here. She looks like such a baddie here. It's crazy, actually. We've got a little bit of a return with those greenish kind of hues in the browns as well that we can see here. So it definitely does seem like that's consistent, at least the grading and the color editing, of course, that we've got across all of these shots. But she looks nuts, dude. Look at her eyes. Also, the angle that she's at, the kind of lower angle where she's like looking up at you as well, it gives off this more like don't mess with me type vibe, and I really, really like that. The pose super simple. She's just kind of like leaning on her wrist, but it actually defines her jaw again as well just here. Like, of course, it's pushing in, so I quite like that. But she's got, now that I'm looking at it too, she's actually got like such a beautiful face, you know, like her proportions are insane. Actually, her proportions are insane. I love it. And then of course we've got her hair waving out very beautifully. Once again, it looks blue, it looks navy here, so I'm not sure. I don't know whether or not it's just an effect from the color grading and it happens to have pushed her black hair towards blue a little bit more, whether or not they've kind of added those green and blue hues a little bit too much, so it's affected her black hair here, but it didn't really affect this part of the dress too much. So I wonder, like, what color really is her hair? I guess we'll see. But the gold accents look nice once again. They fit, of course, with the color of her skin so goddamn nicely. And this open, it's like we've got a strap here, and then we've got like a thicker type, what seems to be a strap holding on here that then continues around her neck, which I actually quite like. And this is more of like a latex slash lycra type looking material. So I really vibe that too. I would definitely have to say that Vivi and Husser's are my favorite of the last series of photos, so the last sets. And I would then say Hijin and then Hyunjin, and it's definitely not anything to do with the members, but rather just in terms of how they're shot. I think actually as well, for me, as far as the last shot is concerned, Vivi has definitely got the perfect angle and the perfect composition too, because as far as the background is concerned, it's like 70% dominated by this rock, and then the rest of it is left to that empty space. But she's on an angle, once again, perfectly in the middle, but also once again on like a vertical angle where she's actually below the camera and looking up at the photographer somewhat, and it just looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful. This is my favorite teaser photo that we've seen so far. If I had to choose a favorite for the second set, I would say it would be probably Hasu. So the second set of photos, the ones where they're holding onto the door and we've got that white background, it would definitely have to be Hasu. And if I had to say I had a favorite for the first set, I would probably say it's between Hijin or Hyunjin, but I'm probably going to say, oh, I'm not sure actually, because I mean Hijin, she's got like that attitude with like her look in terms of like just how she's looking, especially like she's got her arms crossed, she's like, what do you want from me? But then also Hyunjin looks so elegant in the way that the dress is laid out, plus that overwhelming amount of mustard. I really like that. I'm not sure, I'll have to get back to you guys on that. But anyway, that concludes today's video. This was really fun for me actually. Like, I literally didn't realize that I've just been talking about photos and photography for 30 minutes, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it and that perhaps you kind of got something out of it, or maybe might have noticed things that you might not have noticed before. I'm not entirely sure how much attention you guys do pay to the photos and whatnot, but this is something that I always personally look at. I like, whenever I'm going through teaser photos or just photos in general, I really kind of start assessing different aspects of them, anywhere from the lighting, you know, to the the composition of it, the outfits especially, and even the makeup too, because the way that all of these things play into how a photo comes out and how a story is told, or how an emotion is portrayed, is of course extremely important. But yes, next we will have OEC. OEC I'm really excited to do. We're going to be doing that with Yojin, so that's an interesting inclusion as well as far as like the subunits are concerned. So we're obviously not going to worry about that too much, but then we'll have YY by Y and then also the group as part 3 as well. So I hope that you guys are excited for that. But let me know down in the comments below, out of these 12 photos that we've looked at today, which one is your favorite? Which set do you think that you like the most? So the first set, the second sets for each member, or the third set. Personally, I'll probably have to say that the second set, as far as the outfits, really reigns supreme for me, but I'm actually really liking the color grading of the third sets as well, and even the first set too. I love the use of the members' colors. I think that that's very tasteful, and honestly, BBC, as much as people talk about BBC and obviously throw shade here and there, the camera quality, the photography, it's no lie, bro. The teasers are absolutely insane. But anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more of these parts that we've got for LOONA, or just any more of my photographer reactions as well. There are plenty more coming very soon, and of course I hope that you guys can stay tuned for that. But until then, take care of yourselves out there, stay safe, get ready for this comeback, and get ready for parts 2 and 3. And until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.